All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. And just like that, a new era has dawned. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this little celebration of a brand new, just announced, not even yet in production TV series. Well, it's what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly gathering, hangout, chat fest, all out geek fest celebration with our fellow friends, fans, fanatics, and everything in between, who I like to call the Legion of Michael Myers. In other words, our friends right here in the live chat, the Triple M crew. So if you're new, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. And to everybody else, all of our friends, the crew, what is up? Welcome to this historic Michael Myers Monday Live. It is Monday, October 16th. And boy, do we have some news to go over this week. Like I said, a new era has dawned. We're going to get into all that. We also, it's an exciting time here, right here at HDN headquarters, because we just got a shipment in from Trick or Treat Studios of a bunch of new 2023 mask releases. And we're going to share all of that with you and more. Lots to go over this evening. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's had a good week. Like I always say, if you're here, that means you made it through another week. We all did. You made it through another Monday, which for some people, that can be really tough sometimes. Sometimes it's the hardest day of the week, but you made it through. So it's all downhill from here. And that, like I always say, just surviving this long, it's reason to celebrate. And we got lots of reasons to celebrate this week. So happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. What's up? Turning over to the live chat. I see lots of familiar friends already lighting it up in here. I love to see this. Let's see. Not a Hero is checked in. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Teen Wolf, of course, in the house. Camp Blood Collections. Megan is here as well. Mike Johnston. David Suber. Awesome, guys. Thank you. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Phil is here. City Kitty. Rob's in the house. Andromeda driving, of course. Drive safe. Let's see. Moody's Mine. What's up? Joe, good to see you. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good evening. Blake's here. What's up, man? Yes, it was great meeting you out at H45 as well. Thank you for hanging out tonight, man. Let's see. Joseph has checked in. Awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Brett in the house. I love it. Josh is here. We got everybody here. Pat's here. Awesome. Everybody checking in. I am digging it. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one tonight. Sam is in the house as well. What's up, Sam? Sam and Teen Wolf representing the West Coast out there. We got viewers everywhere. We got the crew representing nationwide, globally. Triple M is global, isn't that right, guys? All right, we got a lot to get into tonight. Joseph is complimenting my shirt, saying my shirt is amazing. Thank you, sir. Thank you. If you don't remember, the back is the Not a People Person back of it. It's pretty awesome. So thank you for noticing. This was a Marshalls special. It was like $7 or $8 from our local Marshalls. I couldn't believe it. Had to snatch it up. Let's see here. Mike's commenting on the shirt as well. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So look, we're gonna get right into it this week because I like to start off with a show and tell whenever possible, and to share some new items with you that I have here in hand. And we've got quite a few this week, so we're going to jump right into it. You might have seen a post or two on social media. I tried to keep it quiet, but I get so excited. Over the weekend, we got a shipment in from Trick or Treat Studios containing 4 brand new mask releases. And right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you a world premiere unboxing video that I shot this past weekend, and you'll get to see the unboxing. You'll witness my lifetime real reaction to seeing these masks for the first time in person. I hadn't seen any of them in person yet, not in a Spirit Halloween or Party City or anywhere yet. So it's my first time seeing each of them, and then of course there'll be a little bit of showcase video at the end. You'll hear my take, and then I'll come back on here and give you a little bit more of my take, and we'll talk about them a little bit more. And I want to hear what you guys think about these masks. So I'm gonna still be here live in the live chat. I'll be commenting along, and if there are any technical issues, which there are sometimes, then I'll be here to step in and take care of that as well. But in the meantime, sit back, crack open whatever your beverage of choice this evening is, and enjoy this world premiere video that the rest of the world has to wait until tomorrow to see. But you guys watching live, you get to watch it first right here, right now. My unboxing of our new 2023 masks from Trick or Treat Studios, all of which, as of this moment anyway, are currently available to order online at our online store, HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. I did put direct links in the description of this video. Very limited supply. Most of these have already sold on pre-order. Check this out, though, and then we will discuss further. Video of each. Do want to take note that on the box label here, it does say under description, it calls it a Halloween accessory Saw Billy puppet, which is not what we ordered and not. Apologies for the no sound. Let's try that again. Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News, and what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is our first shipment of 2023 from Trick or Treat Studios. This contains some brand new 2023 merchandise, most of which has already been pre-sold. We do have a very limited supply of each of these items still available to order as of this recording, and I'll put links in the description. But what we're gonna find in this box is the brand new 2023 officially licensed Halloween 2007 Michael Myers mask from Rob Zombie's 07 Halloween remake. We've got a few of those in here. We've also got a few of the clean version of that mask, and Trick or Treat calls it the Halloween 92 Murder Mask. That is the cleaner version of the 07 remake mask that young Michael wears in the beginning of the film as he's slicing down his sister Judith. We also have some of the brand new, highly anticipated Halloween Ends Corey Cunningham Scarecrow Vacuform face masks, as well as, if we're going to have Corey, we've got to, of course, have the matching Halloween Ends Allyson Black Cat vacuum form face masks as well. So that's what we're expecting to be in here. I have not seen any of these 4 masks in person yet, not at a store or anywhere yet. So this will be my first time seeing each of them up close and in person, and we'll open it up, we'll take them out, we'll take a look, and then I'll shoot some better showcase video of each. Do want to take note that on the box label here, it does say under description, it calls it a Halloween accessory Saw Billy puppet, which is not what we ordered and not an item we have pre-sold. So I'm assuming that's probably a mistake, and hopefully that's the only mistake we find here. Our packing list does, in fact, list the items that we were expecting to arrive. So let's get into this now. I'm going to have to put the camera on a tripod so that I can cut open this package. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. Okay, well, I can see already that it is our mask shipment and not, in fact, the Saw Billy puppet that the box states, so thank goodness for that. All right, I'm going to grab my phone so you can get a POV of my very first look at these masks for the first time. Here we go. I can see it already. Here we go. This is that 07 Halloween Michael Myers remake mask, and I am liking my first impression of this. This looks really nice. Let me get it out of the plastic so you can see it a little bit better. This is the first one right on top of the box. Look at that, though. I really like that sculpt. That looks really impressive. That is a great upgrade from the previous release of this film's main mask. And look there, here is Allyson's Black Cat vacuum form face mask. It looks great. I love the retro vibe of that. Don't appear to have any scuffs. Very lightweight face mask. The cat is, anyway. Right. All right, let's keep going. And here, okay, here we go. This is the clean version. And my immediate impression is there's not a huge difference. I mean, the dirty version is not dirtied too much. You do have some wear and tear there. And here is the first clean one I've seen. That one looks really great. I love Wayne Toth's design of the mask in the 07 film, which is why I wanted to own both of these personally for my own collection. And of course, we're going to have them in stock in our store as well. Like I said, most of these have already been purchased and pre-ordered. There might be a couple of each as of this recording still available at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. All right, so just so you can get a first impression here as I am getting mine, this is the 92 Murder Mask, is what they refer to it as from the opening of the film. And again, my immediate impression is that this looks really good. A significant improvement over Fun World's releases of their versions of these same masks. Trick or Treat has really delivered on these. There you can see them both. These are literally the first two masks I pulled out of the box. Not getting picky and choosy and looking at every single one and the different paint jobs. I'm sure there are slight variations, as there always are on all of these masks. But these look great. This clean version, interestingly, not 100% clean. There is quite a bit of wear and tear in that, but not nearly the amount of the standard version. All right, so there they are. Let's check out the Allyson and Corey masks from Halloween Ends now. There's another black cat. Now again, the black cat is significantly more lightweight than I was thinking it would be. So I'm going to proceed with caution on the Scarecrow, because I believe that is going to be very lightweight as well. So keep that in mind. They're not as heavy and, dare I say, as durable as some of the previously released vacuform masks. If you own the Young Michael Myers 78 clown mask, that one is a heavier plastic vacuform material than these. These are very lightweight, much like the traditional plastic masks that they are supposed to be. But I did kind of expect them to be a little more harder plastic. You can see it will bend very easily, could tear easily if you're not careful. So definitely want to keep that in mind when you're ordering, that they are going to be a little more lightweight than some of the other vacuform masks that Trick or Treat has produced in years past. But I love this. I love this mask from the film, and this looks like a perfect recreation of Corey's Scarecrow mask. And I love the fact that now we have Corey and Allyson, kind of the perfect couple's costume from Haddonfield. The perfect couple's costume right here. Allyson and Corey. Again, I love the look of them. I love the vintage feel of them. I did expect them both to be a little heavier duty, harder vacuform plastic, but these are the vintage style masks that they are supposed to be, and they look beautiful. They're going to look awesome hanging on the wall, and I don't know, Sue and I are probably going to have to rock these out as a couple at some point, I'm sure. So we do have a few of these sets available right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. Like I said, very limited supply. Most of what we got in this first shipment this month from Trick or Treat has already been pre-ordered, but we do have a very limited supply of each of these. So now I am going to set each of these masks up and record some better showcase video. Give me your thoughts in the comments on all four of these new 2023 Halloween franchise releases. Again, while they last, you can order each of these from our online store, HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop, and I will put direct links to each in the description of this video if you're watching on good old YouTube. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. that's right in stock now. All four of these new 2023 releases from Trick or Treat Studios. The two new Halloween 07s, both the clean version that they call the 92 Murder Mask and the standard 07 official mask, and then that Corey and Allyson set of face masks from Halloween Ends. Yes, yes, yes. Here we have the Scarecrow, the Corey Scarecrow. You guys, regular viewers, of course, know how excited I've been for these masks and to add these to my own collection. This is the one I'm keeping for myself. Now, a couple things I want to note. As I said in that video, this and the Allyson face masks, they are significantly thinner and more lightweight than I did anticipate. If you own or are familiar with the young Michael Myers 78, or actually 63 young Michael Myers clown mask that Trick or Treat put out, vacuum form style, I was thinking it'd be a harder, thicker plastic similar to that, or like their Haunt movie masks, which we also carry. Most of their other vacuum form masks have been a little bit harder plastic. These are very literally what they are supposed to be, which is the plastic old school like Ben Cooper style masks of decades ago, pre 1970s and earlier. And that's very much the way they are presented here, which again I just expected them to be a tiny bit more heavy duty. So if I've got a complaint, that's my only one. But as you can see, the paint job looks great. The look is completely screen accurate, obviously, from Christopher Nelson's molds. And I did notice on our shipment, I couldn't really find any scuff marks, which on other vacuum form face masks, like the 63 Young Myers Clown, we noticed a lot of just various scuff marks on it, which again, I mean, if you're going for screen accuracy, there was probably some on the one they used in the film, if we're going to be honest. But these did not have any. Maybe because there's a little more give on these. Maybe because of the materials they used to paint. I'm not sure, but they look great. Let me get Allyson up here. Because if you're going to have Corey, you got to have Allyson. And these are super reasonable. I mean, they're only $20 each. So super reasonable. You could get one to hang on your wall and then another one to wear out if you want. And I've talked about how much I love how they were used in the film. Just two classic pieces of Halloween iconography, a black cat and a scarecrow. Two classic Halloween figures. And of course, this one especially is made into a bit of a slasher icon. And I think this is the couple's costume that I am waiting to see most now. Come on. I haven't seen it yet. I did see this at Pasadena at age 45, but where's the couple's costume? I guess Sue and I we're gonna have to rock it, right, guys? We're gonna have to rock it. Anyway, both of these are available. Like I said in the video, we pre-sold most of them, but we do have a limited supply of each of these. $20 each plus shipping. I can't give you my normal Triple M Crew $3 off discount. That's still available on our other Myers masks. But these new ones, we can't put them on sale quite yet. But these are super affordable. And as you can see, they look great. They're a little bit tight. I'm not going to put this one on now. I have put it on, and I can wear it. It's a little tight, though, like I said. And with it being so thin, I don't want to put more wear and tear on it than I need to right now, with it being literally just a few days old. So, but it is wearable, and I'm sure, like I said, we'll probably wear them out as a couple at some point. We have clipped the tags, and but they are going to absolutely make great display pieces in our living room for sure. Now, on to the other two. Now, let me go back to my photo here. And you can see, I mean, they are the same sculpt, but it's remarkable how different they both do truly look up close. And I did not expect that. And again, for years, I myself have seen, and you've probably seen, these masks as they were previously produced by Fun World, who had the license for many years. And those masks weren't horrible, but they just were not up to this screen accuracy by any means. And again, I never looked at those masks and were like, oh, they look terrible. But yeah, as soon as I pulled one of these out, as you saw in that video, I was like, oh wow, this is a significant upgrade. And again, I mean, hopefully in that video you can go back and look at it in HD and full screen. But I mean, the details are all here. I mean, the classic details, the lines that go back, referencing the '78 design are there. This is Wayne Toth's design. That's who designed the mask for the zombie films. And as many of you have said, I've always loved his overall look. And this is, of course, the main warm one. There are some differences. This one has an especially long neck, and most of the copies that we got are all like that. A little bit longer, actually, than the clean versions that we got. These paper towel stands that we get from the Dollar Tree, all the other Myers masks we have don't hang over, but this one hangs over a little bit, so you get a little extra neck there. Just a little detail to keep in mind. The hair is about the same on all of them, which is to say pretty good. I mean, obviously, you're going to style that more once you get it. But as they come out of the box, I mean, not bad on the hair. And again, though, I just look at that sculpt and it looks amazing. I put this on myself, and yeah, it makes me feel about 3 feet taller, like Tyler Mane. Now, speaking of putting it on, though, I do want to say, while the face masks, the Scarecrow is very tight around my head, which again, I grew up thinking I had a relatively big head, and then I started hanging out with all you mask collectors and realizing that maybe not so much. In any case, these masks are big on me. Like, I'm going to have to wear a toboggan on my head, otherwise, when I wear it, I'll turn my head and it won't go anywhere. It's like that big. They're like comparable to the H78s that Trick or Treat makes, or the H2s. I know a lot of you complained when the 2018 masks came out that they were too small and too tight. That one actually fits my head kind of perfectly. The Boogeyman '78 mask also fits my head pretty good, a little bit bigger than that 2018. Last year's Ends mask fits my head pretty well. This one, I would say, bigger than all of those. And again, I don't know my own head's measurements, so I can't tell you. But I can tell you this one is more comparable to like the H78 than, say, the H2018 as far as size. They are big. I'll say that. But they look great, and they are going to photograph great. Hopefully a little bit of that was illustrated in my showcase video. And speaking of which, let me pull out the other one. Now, again, this is from the opening of the remake movie. Daig actually wears this version in the movie as young Michael Myers after wearing the clown costume and mask. And while when you compare them, you will see a lot of the same details. It is clearly the same sculpt, different paint, and like I said in the video, some of these are not as clean as others. And Trick or Treat always does this because we think of the clean mask as being completely white and clean. Even their '78s, they had shading, they had paint, they had a little bit of wear and tear to it, and the same is true here. But I personally love this one. This is actually my preferred version of these two '07s. Now seeing them in person, I always loved it in the film. I loved how crazy and wicked it looked when Daig, as a little boy, puts it on, and it's so oversized on him, and he's chasing Judith down the hall. I love it, and I mean, you see these creases in here. We all think of Tyler Maine's Michael and Rob Zombie's Michael. It's just so brutal and so angry, and I mean, you literally got the creases in there and everything. This is a great looking mask, if you ask me. And again, I've always been just a fan of that design and how it looked in that film and in those early scenes. So now to own this, they both look awesome to me, but I really, really like this guy. Um, all right, so that's my take. And again, he's same size as the other one. He's big. You know, I'm swimming inside them, but wow, yeah, they do make you feel almost as tall as Tyler Mane when you put them on. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. But yeah, in my opinion, Trick or Treat knocked it out of the park with these '07s. The H2s, I have seen one of the H2s actually in a Party City. It looked really good. But now having seen these in our shipment and seeing how good they all look, and the paint jobs aren't very varied. You know, sometimes it's you never know with Trick or Treat. Sometimes various releases, the paint jobs are a little all over the place. Our shipment anyway, at least the batch we got. Um, they're all, I mean, they're all going to be slightly different, obviously, but there's not any like major, huge uh, differentials that we could pick out. And shout out to everybody that pre-ordered any of these 4 masks over the last couple months. Huge shout out and appreciation for your patience because it has taken a while. I know you've seen other people getting theirs, and we're not exactly big enough to be exactly front of the line for Trick or Treat every year, but needless to say, your orders have been packed and are on their way to you right now. And if you did order one, make sure you tag us when you share your photos on social media. We'd love to see it. And if you haven't ordered yours yet and you were thinking about it, like I said, we've got a very few. We got a couple of these. I think maybe 1 or 2 of the standards, and maybe a few sets of Corey and Allyson. We don't have much. We didn't order a lot to begin with because, we just couldn't afford to order a whole lot more other than what was already pre-ordered. But we do have a few more for sale, and we will be getting more, of course, but probably not another shipment before October 31st. So what we've got now, we're going to fulfill these pre-orders. And so what we've got now this month, and then we will be getting more probably in November. I'm sure ahead of time for Christmas shopping season, any of that, if you don't mind waiting for that. But in any case, that's my take. That's my review. That's my showcase. That's my unboxing. And all 4 of these masks are in stock right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. I put direct links in the description of this video. Give me your thoughts on these guys. Like I said, I am very happy with all of them. They look great. I think for the money, sorry, I understand you couldn't hear me. I think for the money, by the way, speaking of the money, $20 for the face masks, $60 is our price on each of the '07s. So there you go. Limited supply. Get them while they last. And if you get any of the other Michael Myers from the most recent 3 films, we are still offering that Triple M Crew exclusive $3 off any of those masks. You can apply that discount. It's MMMCREW3, Triple M Crew 3. That's on, not these new releases now. I can't do that quite yet. They're brand new. But on the previous trilogy, you can, any of those Myers masks, you can get $3 off those if you're looking to add those to your collection. All right, so there we go. That's this week's very long and prolonged show and tell, but that's a big one because that's some items I've been waiting to add to my own collection personally, as fans of both of those movies, and also stuff that I've been excited to be able to offer for sale in our online store. So there we go. All right, we're going to get into some news in just a second, but I'm going to take a breath and see what you guys are saying in the live chat for just a second. All right, I'm here, guys. Just give me 1 second. City K says that clean mask is begging to come to my house. I like that. Mike Johnson's tempted to go buy the '07. Josh says they look awesome. Rob's loving the clean mask. It is badass. It looks really good. I mean, don't get me wrong. The standard looks great too, and it does. I mean, you could almost feel Tyler Mane in it when you get really close. Now, in this photo I'm showing you here, I shot this earlier today, and obviously, normally I'd have it quite a bit darker, but I couldn't really control the lighting on the Allyson mask as much as I'd like. So, in order for that to show up at all, the other ones have to be a bit more overexposed than I prefer, but you can really see kind of the details. And again, normally if I'm going to photograph these masks, I point them both, have Michael looking a little bit more downward, which you can do with that clean, but that standard's neck is so long on our stands anyway. It's almost hard to position him looking slightly downward without bending the neck a little bit. But anybody Tyler Mane's size is gonna love the size of these masks for sure. I agree, Teen Wolf. It is weird how differently they look. I mean, when you get up close, you can see all the same details are there, but just how they've painted them, they look so. They do look very different. Hey, Lee the Machine Bowers. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Just reading your comment. Glad you could be here and hoping we can lift your spirits and give you something positive to think on. That's one thing a lot of you guys have commented to us, Sue and myself on. Both. We're gonna talk about age 45. Not much tonight. We're probably not gonna get much new age 45 stuff. I've still got tons of that, but we got so much other stuff. But a lot of you we talk to out there, and what we go hear from in comments here all the time is how we do keep it positive here on Michael Myers Mondays, and also just here at HDN in general. And so I appreciate that this is a place you come for that, and hopefully we can provide that. We'll definitely do our best. Yeah, Phil, I love that Corey mask too. Protect Safes is in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Darlene is checked in as well. Awesome. I love it. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Rob, there are 4 total Rob Zombie Michael Myers masks that were released this year. These 2 are from the remake, the '07 remake, and they also released 2 from the sequel, from Halloween 2. One that they call the Dream Mask, which is from the Dream sequence, and then their standard Halloween 2 version, where it is after the stripper death scene at the Rabbit in Red, where most of the mask is ripped off. And we don't have those in stock right now. I do really want to have them now, both for my own collection and also to offer for sale right now. We didn't order any really because as much as I really do like that movie, I don't particularly love the look of the mask there, and we know how divisive it is, and got to make some decisions sometimes in retail what's going to sell the best. And again, we had to judge a lot based upon pre-orders as well. But we'll get them eventually for sure. Yeah, totally. All right. So we've got some exciting news to talk about this week. It was reported just in the last couple days that what the future of this franchise is starting to look like. And like I keep saying, a new era has arrived. And I can't understate that or overstate that enough. It's just an unbelievable time. And I was the first one saying weeks ago, saying, I don't think you should expect any kind of announcements anytime soon. I don't think we should look for any kind of new projects for the next couple of years. Let's just enjoy this. But hey, I'm not here to be a psychic or a mind reader or predict the future. I'm here to report on the news and here on Monday nights anyway to comment on it as well. But yeah. So what do we know, right? Here we are anyway. So before we talk about more of my take on this and just get your take on this news, I'm going to run our Thursday video update, which obviously we had to report on as soon as it broke. Deadline published a story confirming that Miramax had won the TV rights bidding war that had been going on, and that we've got a Halloween franchise TV series coming, and that it's very possibly going to launch what has been worded as a cinematic universe of interconnected series, films, and who knows what else moving forward. All of this is mind-blowingly exciting. If you are not caught up, or if you just need a recap, I'm going to show you our Thursday report on this before we get into my take on what this means, why this is a time, an idea whose time has come, and what it all might mean moving forward, and why it's got me really excited. But first, check this out again, just in case you need a recap of what happened since our last gathering here. Because there was a little bit of news since our last Monday, just a tiny bit. Only the Earth shifting just a bit. The beginning of a whole new period of excitement for this franchise. So anyway, check this out and then we'll talk more. Michael Myers is coming home to your TV screens, or at least whatever screens you use to watch TV series these days. Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News with some insanely exciting breaking news to report on this afternoon, as the announcement that we were hoping for this month has come. Malek Akkad teased it during his panel at the recent H45 45 Years of Terror Halloween franchise reunion event in Pasadena. He hinted that we might get a major announcement about the future of this franchise this month before Halloween itself, and today brings that announcement, as Deadline is reporting exclusively that Miramax has won that hotly contested bidding war for the TV rights to the Michael Myers Halloween franchise, of course controlled by producer Malek Akkad's Trancas International Films. Deadline reports today that, quote, Miramax Television has signed a wide-ranging deal with Trancas to develop and co-produce a Halloween TV series, which also includes a first-look agreement on other television projects for the international marketplace. That article goes on to state that the new series is, quote, envisioned to potentially launch a cinematic universe that would span both film and television. Trancas most recently produced the Halloween trilogy, directed by David Gordon Green, for Miramax and Blumhouse. Miramax's head of global TV, Mark Helwig, will be overseeing the franchise creatively in close collaboration with Malek Akkad himself. Helwig says, quote, we couldn't be more excited to bring Halloween to television. We are thrilled to expand our long and successful partnership with Trancas and the brilliant Malek Akkad in introducing this iconic franchise to a new form of storytelling and a new generation of fans. Jointly controlling both the film and TV rights will now allow Miramax and Trancas to map out what Deadline describes as, quote, an integrated film TV universe. Malik Akkad tells Deadline, quote, Trancas International Films is extremely enthused to be expanding our long-standing relationship with Miramax, and we look forward to working with Mark Helwig and the entire team in creating this new chapter, end quote. Obviously, this is a huge story, very exciting for us here at HDN. We look forward to covering this as it continues to develop. Very exciting times here for the franchise. We told you that when we were out in Pasadena during Malik Akkad's panel, he did strongly hint that some kind of announcement like this would be very near on the horizon, pretty much imminent. Now we have some concrete details on what he was alluding to, and I cannot wait to hear all of your comments on this. Now, Deadline does say in their article that the bidding war did include A24, which was previously reported. Apparently, Blumhouse was also in the running for the TV rights and interested at taking another stab at the franchise. But it is Miramax now who does have that long-standing partnership with Trancas. They've produced a number of the franchise movies over the years. Now they will be working tight with Malik and his Trancas team on this new series that it sounds like is very likely going to launch an entirely new cinematic universe for Michael Myers and presumably all of Haddonfield. Give me your thoughts on this news right now in the comments below. I cannot wait to hear what you think. Obviously, I am very excited. My curiosity is up. Keeping it with Miramax does kind of feel like keeping it in the family, so to speak. I always thought that A24 was kind of an odd choice. Not that I would be opposed to left field choices sometimes, but it seems like to me, again, this is kind of like keeping it in the family, so to speak. So I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Of course, be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications because we have got a lot to talk about as this project and this new era of Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise begins. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. Yes, so there you have it. That's where things stand. As of Thursday of last week, Deadline broke that news, and the earth split in half. What is going on? Michael Myers is coming to TV. So, again, some more of my take on this now that we've had a few days to let this news set in. This is monumentally huge news, if you ask me. I mean, it's as big as it gets. My feeling is that I haven't been this excited about the future of this franchise since they first announced the 2018 film. Even more so than when they announced Kills and Ends, because when they announced Kills and Ends, we had a tiny idea that it was going to pick up from 2018 and it was going to continue this story. Why is this more exciting than that and equal only in recent memory to the 2018 announcement is because at this moment we have no idea where this is going to go, and the possibilities are endless. And that has me really excited about the future of this franchise. Not only because it's going to give us plenty of discussion material here every Monday for the foreseeable future. There's that, and that's great. But no, there are other reasons why I think this is a good idea. A lot of us have speculated in recent months and years even that a TV series might be on the horizon. It might make sense. Now, I can remember years ago, and many of you longtime fans, I'm sure remember, Malik Akkad did make a statement publicly at a certain point to the effect that, he would rather stop making Michael Myers movies altogether if it meant them not going to the theater. And that was really in response to would he keep making Michael Myers movies and have them go direct to video. And I think TV might have been part of that conversation as well at the time. But you got to remember that it's a different world we're living in, and the entertainment landscape is different. It's changing constantly. It's changing even as we speak, and in ways that we can't foresee even totally. But it's definitely changed in the last decade and a half, to where television is no longer looked down upon by movie people, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like there was a certain time where, um, an actor like George Clooney couldn't be in a show like ER and also be doing movies with Tarantino at the same time. That was like unheard of when that happened in the 90s. That was like mind blowing that actually happened. Now it's not mind blowing at all. It happens all the time. One does not preclude the other. And as we've seen over and over in recent years, TV is now a place for prestige genre products. All you see it all over the place. And when I say genre, I'm meaning our genre, horror, like some really cool horror stuff. The Walking Dead was a big part of kind of ushering that in. And on network TV, we've seen some great horror shows that, whether you liked them or not, you can't deny that they were some really quality products with stuff like Hannibal. And I talk a lot about Bates Motel and just all kinds of stuff. I love what they're doing with the Chucky show right now. So I do think this is the next logical step for this franchise. Another reason is that we just had these 3 movies, which, while divisive amongst some fan groups they may be, were overall very well received by general audiences, overall made a ton of money, and overall put Michael Myers back into the public eye, as Malik said in Pasadena a few weeks ago, on just a level that's bigger than ever. And they intend to keep him at that level. So they're doing this TV series. And, again, another reason it works is because we just did Ends. And yes, they killed off Michael Myers. And what they did more effectively, I think, is they kind of killed off and ended the Michael Laurie story. And so now it's all fair game. It's wide open. Where do we go from here? I have no idea. That's for another night to specifically discuss where we go. You guys have heard my pitch. And I still say, give us that Dr. Loomis show. Set it primarily at Smith's Grove. There we go. You got 15 years of mythology that you could play with right there. Hypothetically, 15 seasons of TV. Not that it would go that long. Not that it should go that long. No. But it's wide open. And really, only Rob Zombie has touched like a few minutes of that 15 years in his movies. So, but that's my pitch. There's other ways you could go about it. But I would say that what I've said before to you guys, I'll say it again tonight. If anybody's listening, if Mark Helwig at Miramax and Malik Akkad, which I love that Malik is listed as, one of the creators of this whole thing, who's going to steer this whole thing creatively along with Miramax's head. Because only rightfully so. Yes, let's have him in charge of this. By the way, speaking of Miramax, before I get too deep into this, it should be noted the previous films that Miramax has produced within this franchise started with Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, continued with Halloween H2O, and then concluded for a few years with Halloween Resurrection. Then they re-collaborated again and reunited for Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and last year's Halloween Ends. So that's the movies that Miramax has worked with Trancas on in this franchise before. And a lot of people get confused. I had to look it up myself. Miramax was, in fact, founded by the Weinstein brothers originally in 1979. In the early 90s, however, they were sold to Disney. And during the time that all 3 of those films were made, Miramax was owned by Disney, which is kind of funny because Cursed, a movie that was originally going to be titled Halloween 666, came out under Disney, technically. Pretty interesting stuff there. So those are the 6 movies that Miramax has collaborated with Malika Akkad's Trancas on over the years. And 6 movies out of 13. That's almost half of the entire franchise that Miramax has been involved in some way. And I know personnel changes, people change. I don't know how many people from the 90s regime of Miramax are still there now. But like I said in my previous report, my personal opinion, when I heard this, I felt a bit of relief, honestly, if I'm going to be straight up with you guys. The A24 suggestion to me, look, I'm going to be first in line for anything this franchise does because I'm a fan and I am all for taking risks and doing things out of left field sometimes. But A24 always seemed like maybe not the best fit for this franchise to me. I'm super excited for what they're going to do with the Friday the 13th franchise, with the Crystal Lake series that they're producing for Peacock. I think that's, I'm very excited for that. Are they going to be the best fit for that? I don't know, but I'd kind of rather Jason be the guinea pig and find out than Michael, I guess is what I'm saying. So in any case, Miramax, as I said in that report, feels a little bit like keeping it in the family, which I don't think is the end of the world when it comes to this. And another thing about Miramax, like I said, they were sold to Disney. They've been sold to a few other companies over the years. Well, in April of 2020, Miramax ownership changed again, and Paramount actually became 49% stakeholder. Now, that's not majority, so Paramount doesn't own Miramax outright. They are a 49% stakeholder as of April 2020. The primary owner, and I've got to read it to make sure, it's BN Media Group. That's the primary stakeholders of Miramax. But Paramount Global, formerly known as Viacom CBS, now known as Paramount Global, which of course is Paramount Studios, which of course is Paramount Plus, which is also Showtime Network and the CBS Network. 49% is not majority, it's not controlling, but it's as close as you can get without that. Because I bring this up because I do have some questions about this project, as many of you I'm sure do. And I'll just tell you right now, I'm not, for the next 2 weeks, I'm enjoying Halloween. I'm enjoying whatever Malika Akkad and this franchise wants to surprise us with over the next couple weeks. And I'm not really digging for info on this series quite yet. But trust me, come November 2nd, because we always take November 1st off. Starting November 2nd, I'll be digging. We will be digging deep and following and reporting on this hardcore. But in any case, with all of this happening, and with this happening with Miramax, we still don't know. I mean, it's a TV series. That's the term Deadline used. That's the term in the headline, TV series. My first question is, what is a TV series in 2023 or 2024 or 25, whenever this is going to be released? It could be defined in many different ways. Is a TV series what it used to be, a literal network series that airs on good old TV sets? I kind of can't really see Halloween the series airing on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. on NBC or CBS. It's possible. Something tells me it might not happen, though. That way. Maybe TV series is thinking more streaming, or I would think more premium network if we're thinking network. Because when they say TV, that makes me feel you're talking network. It's going to air on some broadcast channel that, like, my mom could find, whereas she might not be able to find something that's only streaming. That's what I think they're meaning. Again, I don't know this at this time. I'm just going by what we all have heard so far. But I have these questions. If I had to guess, if I had to make a hypothetical suggestion here, I would say that it'd probably be something like a premium network. And if we're talking Miramax, and they're almost half owned by Paramount, well, then it might make sense that it goes to Paramount's own premium network, which would be Showtime in that case. And it could be a thing very similar to what Warner Brothers does, Warner Discovery now does with HBO and Max, where they have series that premiere at a certain time on the HBO channel, the good old network that you can watch on TV through your cable provider. But at that same second, it also drops on Max, which is their streaming service, and you can watch it there. If you're like me and you've finally returned your cable box and cut the cable altogether and you're just streaming everything, and you can do it that way. So again, not knowing where any of this is going, just trying to read some of the signposts, the very early signposts here, I would think it'd probably be in line with something like that. Hearing Malik's words at the convention a few weeks ago at age 45, not wanting to dilute this. That's my words, but he said he wanted to keep everything elevated at a higher level the way it's been. To me, I'm hearing they don't want to dilute it. And yes, I'm going to talk about Fortnite in a minute, which is arguably a diluted version of Michael. But that's another story. That's part of the other thing Malik talked about, where Michael is American. What was the word he used? I'm forgetting the terminology he used right now, but it's Americana right now. Anyway, I'm getting off track a little bit right now, but my point is with the series is that there's a ton of places they could go with this, obviously, and I would think that Halloween would be suited for some kind of premium network premiere, which would be related to a same time drop on that streaming service related to that studio. And if we're talking Paramount, if we're talking Miramax, it kind of makes sense. It might be Paramount. And you're saying, well, Miramax produced the last 3 films. Why were they all under Universal? Why were they on Peacock? Why did all that happen? And it wasn't Paramount, and it wasn't Showtime or any of that. Well, that's real simple. It's because the sale of Miramax to Paramount didn't happen until 2020. And that was well after 2018, Halloween 2018 had been released. It was well after Halloween Kills had already been filmed, and all deals for all 3 films had been long since locked in. So Miramax was dealing with Universal and Blumhouse and a whole other entity at that time. And again, Blumhouse has had a very successful relationship with Universal. So that, easily paved the road to that. So you can see why all that worked out very nicely for that trilogy. We can also see where it might be going with this one. All of which I think suggest, like I said, very possibly if we're talking network at all, which maybe they're not, but why wouldn't they? I think they want to reach the biggest audience possible. I think Malik, they want people like my mom, again, that to be able to find this stuff too. So I think they're going to put it on something like a Showtime. Also, if it's Paramount, that would be Paramount Plus as well. Now, one other thing I want to address here, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys, but I feel, we always get a lot of colorful comments in this fandom, in this, not so much from you guys here on Monday nights, of course, because you guys, you're hanging with me. You're kind of the same mindset as me, generally speaking, on a lot of this stuff. Um, our Instagram post on this story especially got a ton of comments. A lot of people less than enthused about this news for a couple of reasons. But one, I saw a lot of comments that people seem to have a problem with the terminology of cinematic universe, because that was used in the Deadline article. And in our report, we quoted it. They're looking at a integrated film and television universe. But with all the comments, I just want to say, I kind of think some people are overreacting and maybe reading those two words a little too much into that, because I don't understand what there is to be upset about any of that. To me, I think all they're talking about is literally what the article states. I think all they're talking about when they say cinematic universe is the idea that, hey, we're going to make this show, okay, and it might have a character or two who's also going to appear in the next movie or two that we might make. And we might, if they're successful, do more shows and series that might also be connected to other movies over the next 5 to 10 years. I think all they're saying is that, hey, we're trying to actually map out the next decade or so, the next 5 to 10 years of this franchise, where it goes. Maybe we do 2 seasons of a show. It builds up to some kind of a movie event. Then it drops back into a different show for a couple years, and that builds into another movie event. That doesn't mean that it's the MCU or Star Wars or anything like that type of, like, where you gotta do that much work and watch all these other things to enjoy your movies. I don't think that's what they're talking about at all. Anything MCU style. I don't think they're meaning multiverse of Myers style. Because I've seen suggestions of that. I mean, any of these ideas are possible. Anthology ideas are certainly, I think, on the table and possible. Maybe every season of the show is a little bit different. A different Myers story. Maybe it's not following one cohesive story, part of this mythology. But I still say the best way to go, and I'll leave it with this, and then I'm going to shut up and turn it over to you guys. We're going to move on. But Dr. Loomis, elevate him the way these last 3 movies elevated Laurie to ultimate heights. And you could barely have Michael in the show, is the great thing, if you make it about Loomis and you make it set at Smith's Grove, because you could almost do a patient of the week type format. Like every episode has a new crazy or seemingly crazy patient come in there, and Loomis, and we get to see Loomis like solving these patients' issues. Sometimes maybe like actually helping them, and that give him more hope of, oh, I'm going to help that Myers kid eventually, and and then it would go on. And of course he wouldn't. And have Michael in it very little, maybe in the very beginning, have their first meeting as 6-year-old Michael, and then keep him on the outskirts of the show. Never have him in there on most episodes, but have him mentioned at least once every episode. Always have him be a presence, and then maybe your first season finale, have him in it again. And here's the other thing. I know I said that last thing a few things ago, but this is very important too, to Malik, to Mark, to all the creatives working on this. This is going to be a Halloween series. I don't know if they're going to use the word Halloween in the title. It's going to be Halloween the series. I kind of think Smith's Grove would be my pick. Haddonfield is probably the way they would go. Who knows? But this is a Halloween franchise series, so it 1,000,000% has to take place on and around Halloween. It has to. Every season of the show could start around September, right around the beginning of fall, and it could always just lead right in to October 31st. And Remember that great scene in the beginning of 2018 when they're at Smith's Grove and they pull out the mask and all the other inmates are all getting all agitated, and imagine that happening throughout the asylum, throughout the month of October, throughout every episode of the show as we get progressively close to October 31st and that weird kid down in room 31. Yeah. There's a ton of possibilities there. And again, that's just my take on what they should do, what I would do. But there's a ton of possibilities. And I do think a TV series is the natural way to go here. If they were to say if the announcement had been we're going to make another movie and reboot everything right now, I think it'd be a little anticlimactic, honestly. As excited as I'd be for, okay, new Michael Myers movie, because I saw a lot of comments, Michael belongs in the movies, not on TV. I get it. But, I used to think the same thing about Star Wars, and and again, for you guys that aren't Star Wars fans, sorry to always liken it to that, but for you that are fans, you get it. You can liken it to that because it is similar in those ways. All right, I'm going to take a breath and hear what you guys have to say about this in the live chat. And then we're going to head over just a couple quick other little minor news bites before we call it a night. And some shout outs coming out too. Shout outs, definitely shout outs. All right, let's see what everybody's saying. What's up, Travis? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Imagine a season of The Witch sequel set on the same night in a town, a time zone, an hour behind the rest of us. Last of the Shamrock robots closing in. That could be cool. Camp Blood says bring back John too. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think that would go without saying, and I think Malik has proven with the last trilogy that his first call for anything, and I truly believe, because here's another thing. If we just got this news officially reported by Deadline this past Thursday, well, they're ahead of that by a few weeks or months even. You got to figure, right? This is Hollywood. You got to figure if it's hitting us in the public at this point, they're quite a bit more ahead of that. So I think the reason it was announced when it was partly because it's October Halloween season, but I think it was also partly because the writer's strike ended. And they're probably putting together their writers team right now. If they haven't already, I would think that would be the next step. Start putting together your writers, even before directors, probably. And so I think we've got all of that to look forward to. But yeah, I would think that they've already reached out to Carpenter, that Malik has anyway, and said, look, whatever we do moving forward, we want you doing the music for it. And hopefully John has just been like, yeah, sign me up, cool. And I hope that's just a done deal, that anything moving forward, he's providing the music for. Because, yeah, that should be move number one. And it was in 2018 as Malik tells the story, so I believe it'll be the same. And it already has been, I think. All right. I'm going to keep reading your comments here. We do have another little bit of news that broke over the past week. And while it might not be the video game news that some of you were hoping for, it's still a pretty big story. Now, I did do a pre-recorded report on this because it involves another one of our favorite Halloween time movie icons as well. So check out this report on Michael Myers coming to Fortnite this month. Halloween icons Michael Myers and Jack Skellington are coming to Fortnite for this Halloween. Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News with a cool news story that broke last week. Not quite the video game news that Michael Myers fans might have been hoping for this month and might still be wishing for, but some very cool gaming news nonetheless, as Michael Myers, of course, of the Halloween franchise, and the Pumpkin King himself, Jack Skellington, of course, from Disney's The Nightmare Before Christmas, are coming to the popular Fortnite video game for this month's Fortnitemares Halloween event. And we have some first look images here to celebrate the occasion. According to the official announcement ongoing now through November 2nd, Fortnitemares 2023 focuses mainly on vampires, but the new crossover costumes, which will be available in the game's item shop, include the Shape, Michael Myers, with his kitchen knife as a pickaxe, a jack-o'-lantern, of course, and a new emote. Jack Skellington, meanwhile, gets two costume variants, a zero back bling peppermint parasol pickaxe, sled glider, and two emotes. Also part of the Halloween event, Alan Wake will arrive ahead of the October 27th release of Alan Wake 2 with his own Waking Nightmare set of items. Hey everybody, I want to take a minute and let you know about a sponsor of this video. Kangaskhan Publishing's brand new Halloween horror anthology, October Screams, is out now, available from Amazon. You can find a direct link in the description. October Screams brings you 27 brand new tales, all set around the greatest holiday of all, Halloween. It features stories from authors including Brian King and Richard Chismar, Jeremy Bates, Philip Fracassi, Todd Kiesling, Gwendolyn Keist, and many, many others. Terrifying, fun, creepy, and at times poignant as well. This volume contains stories for every craving you could have this Halloween season. Perfect reading material for this month. October Screams is available now from Kangaskhan Publishing, available through Amazon. In addition to these images, an official trailer was released that you can check out now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. We'll put a link in the description of this video. It features some of the official Fortnitemares 2023 gameplay. And from what we've heard, Michael will arrive in the game next week, starting the week prior to Halloween itself. Give us your thoughts in the comments below. Are you a Fortnite player? Are you excited for these crossover costumes for Halloween? Let us hear from you in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe. Hit this video with a like if you wouldn't mind, and look out for lots more Halloween 2023 news and updates coming your way all this month long and beyond right here on the HDN YouTube channel. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. Yes. All right. Again, you can find out more about that Fortnite crossover event and watch that trailer, that gameplay trailer, and find the link to where you can get your Michael Myers download at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Thanks, Vibes. I appreciate it. Yes, Andromeda, I agree. Let's get John to direct an episode. Let's get Nick to direct an episode. Tommy Lee Wallace, Steve Miner. Let's get them all in there. Let's get Rob Zombie to direct an episode. I mean, this would be so cool. Like you said, we could all see our favorite actors. They could bring everybody in for various cameos, guest appearances. The possibilities are so endless on this. Now, if they went the anthology route, I'd love that. You know, give us like a Season of the Witch type anthology where every single season is different, kind of like American Horror Story. I'd be all for that. Don't set them all in Haddonfield, or do. That'd be fine too. Like again, in my Smith's Grove idea, you could work in all of the known locations and family names that we know from this franchise. You could talk about Haddonfield, Russellville, Nichols Hardware, Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. You could talk about all of that. You could talk about Santa Mira. You could talk about the Silver Shamrock Factory. You could work all of that in there. Family names like Brackett and Strode and, of course, Myers. You could work all of those in there. And if it's done right and with respect, I think that's the whole thing, is they need to get people that love this franchise. And I, love it like the way we love it. And if they're in it and they're the ones show running this thing, and give us what I would call a fun remix. I don't know if you guys were as big of fans of the Bates Motel show as I was, but I loved it. They didn't tell the exact Psycho story from the movies, but they kind of did. They told like what I call a remixed version of it. Hannibal did a similar thing on that show, and that show was incredibly gory and R-rated to air. Speaking of network TV, like that was network TV, not even basic cable, but old school network TV. Again, I think a show like this, it needs to be gory, it needs to be R-rated, mature audiences only, it needs to be late night, premium cable, and streaming, and I think that's probably the way they'll go. Like I said, for the next 2 weeks, for the rest of this month, we're going to enjoy October. We're going to enjoy this magical time we're living in, where Michael Myers is not gone. He was never gone, and yet here he is. He's back yet again. And again, I'm saying Michael Myers. We're saying the Michael Myers franchise. There's been no indication in that Deadline article or anywhere else that Michael will even 100% be in this series. They're not saying that. That's not been said yet. But I'm saying that I don't believe there's any way in any multiverse universe or any scenario that Malik Akkad in this franchise does a project that doesn't involve Michael in some way, even if they were to do a Silver Shamrock centric story, a Connell Cochran story. There's another family name you can have in there, Chalice. Did Chalice work at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital? What was the hospital he worked at? That's interesting. There's a lot of ways you could go with that. But if they were going to do that, I would still say, even so, the same way they had the Silver Shamrock masks in the most recent 3 movies, you'd have Myers in it in some way. Work Michael in it in some way. I don't think that's ever not going to be. I do think it's okay, possible, and time to have him in it very much on the peripheral edges of it all. Like I'm saying, let him be a presence that is talked about and felt, but not seen physically or on screen, except for maybe very, very, very little. Maybe in like the first ever episode and maybe that first season finale. You know what I mean? But talk about him. Let the presence be known. Let people wonder about him. Let Loomis obsess over him, if you're doing that idea. All right. That's my pitches. One other cool news item I wanted to bring up. You might have seen this. Jamie Lee Curtis signed a bunch of Michael Myers masks and sent them out to be signed by a ton of other alums from this franchise. And now she is putting them up for auction for her charity, My Hand in Yours. And 100% of the profits go to help sick and terminally ill children at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. And she did this before shooting the last 3 movies, and then during shooting of the last 3 movies, she got a lot of people from those movies to sign these masks as well. So apparently she's got, I think, 2 more available. 2 that are available now, and she lists everybody that has signed them. Check out those lists. In addition to herself, there's PJ Souls, Nancy Loomis, John Carpenter, Dean Cundy, Ray Stella, Nick Castle, Charles Cyphers, Rick Rosenthal, Will Sandin, Tommy Lee Wallace, David Gordon Green, Kyle Richards, Judy Greer, Andy Matichak, Danny McBride, Will Patton, Nancy Stevens, Jason Blum, Brian Andrews, Jabral and Tom Brew, not shout out to our buddy Jabral, Jeff Bradley, and Dylan Arnold. You can find out more at Jamie Lee Curtis's Instagram page. That's where this is posted. And you can go to her charity, My Hand in Yours, and place your bid. Try to win this in auction. And I saw a few of you mention this in the live chat just a few minutes ago. Wouldn't be complete if we didn't wrap up our news reports with this awesome new merch reveal today from Funko. This is a Hot Topic exclusive. Last year we got Michael Myers at the Hedge in bobblehead form. This year we get it in Funko Pop figure form, available exclusively from Hot Topic, priced at a very reasonable $15.90. And I did put the link in the description of this video so you can order yours right now. You know I'm ordering one. I love it. I don't love that you can see the flesh around Michael's eyes on this pop. You know, the very first 78 pop that Funko ever put out, it was an all black-eyed pop face. Then they got the H2O license and they started doing it like this, which is kind of acceptable because it's H2O and it arguably looked a little more like that. But now we're back to 78. This is officially 78. The Hedge. That only happens in one movie. Can't be having the H2O flesh eyes. Anyway, minor gripe. I'll be adding it to my collection regardless. And how cool that many of us were just standing at that very edge just a few weeks ago. Pretty damn awesome, I gotta say. All right, I'm going to pull up a couple shout outs, and I apologize for not getting to poll results or launching a new poll this week. I just knew we had so much I wanted to get into and talk about this week that we just weren't going to have time for it. So real quick, let's jump in and do some Triple M shout outs. Starting over on, well, I was going to say on Twitter, but on the platform formerly known as Twitter. This comes from Ricardo at HarXArt, saying Happy Michael Myers Monday, and I love that shot from Curse, that Take That Monday. Another one from X. This is Chainsaw Massacre at Final Dude 78, says trying to wake up on Michael Myers Monday. Yeah, that's how I felt this morning. Yep, that's about right. Another one of our favorites, regular viewer here on Triple M Live, Minoka Locken at City Kitty 865. What's up, City Kitty? Tagging us on the good old X, the former Twitter. Bella Mugosi says Happy Michael Myers Monday. Look at that. Bella wearing an awesome Dracula costume. I love it. Thank you, Minoka, a.k.a. our own City Kitty. Appreciate you. Happy Michael Myers Monday. All right, let's jump over to Instagram. This one comes from Michael Myers of Rhode Island. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thanks for tagging us. Love this shot. I mean, it looks like it's out of a movie that I've never seen, but feel like I should have. And here is the great Tyler Main with two big Michael Myers Monday announcements for you. And rather than me recap, I'm just going to turn up the volume and let him talk to you. Here's Tyler.
Hey, happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Yes. I wanted to say thank you to everyone that came out and did the photo ops at our 4 different conventions that we did, and we were able to raise over $10,000 to help put an end to human trafficking for deliverfund.org and traffickingamerica.taskforce.org. And I wanted to also let you all know that our Kickstarter is launching tomorrow, October 17th, for The Last Spartan Red Tape at 10:30. So please check it out. I will also be going live at about 10:15 throughout the day So come check it out. And I appreciate all your support. Peace. Have a great week, everybody. Hey, happy Michael Myers.
Yeah, Tyler is awesome. Check out my exclusive interview with Tyler from last month if you haven't already. He is awesome. Very proud of that interview. And yeah, support his new graphic novel, The Last Spartan Red Tape. Again, that Kickstarter goes live tomorrow, Tuesday the 17th. Or today, Tuesday the 17th. If you're on the East Coast with me, it's already tomorrow. All right, we're jumping over to TikTok because TikTok is a very active Michael Myers Monday community that we are happy to shine a light on. This one comes from Louisiana Michael Myers 1 on TikTok. And they are dancing, as you can see. I'm not going to play the music, but it's the Bengals Manic Monday. Pretty awesome. What more from TikTok? This comes from Dragon Geeks 10 at Dragon Geeks on TikTok. And I appreciate all you guys. Again, if you're on Threads and want to shout out as well during Triple M shout outs, well, you're going to have to tag us over there because so far we can't check out hashtags. And really on any of these platforms, if you really want to shout out during Triple M Live, I would say, tag us, shoot us a direct message, whatever you got to do to make sure that we see it. And yeah, we will repost, we'll share, and you never know, you might get a shout out during the live stream. All right, I'm going to turn over to the live chat one more time, and then I'm going to get out of here because it is well after midnight tonight. Give me your thoughts on everything we've talked about tonight. I know it's a lot, and who knows what tomorrow brings. Yes, no problem, the city, Kelly. Thank you. Love lives today, Travis. That's right, buddy. Hell yeah. Yeah, Camp Blood. I hear you with that mask. And again, it's a pop. We're not looking for screen accuracy by any means. It's going to be the pop figure. But I did notice it with some previous releases they've done that, again, it was licensed from H2O. Kind of let it slide there, I guess. But now it's from 78. Really? Come on. I mean, what are we doing? I don't get it. But I still have to own it. Yeah, cameo by Will Sandin. That's right, Andromeda. I think it'd be awesome. I mean, again, depending on how they want to go, that's all we can do right this moment is just speculate, and that's all I'm trying to do tonight. Trust me. Starting November 2nd, we're gonna start digging for actual news, like not speculation, not and we're gonna be all about covering this series and this whole integrated universe and everything. We're gonna be calling in favors and contacts that we've built up over the last decade to really bring you the best coverage of this, of anybody out there, including exclusives, breaking news, scoops. That's really what we're going to be working and digging hard to do. And it's going to be fun because again, at this moment, knowing nothing, it's kind of the most exciting because possibilities are endless. We can wake up tomorrow and we start to know a little something, and you know, possibilities start to narrow a tiny bit. But right now, it's literally endless. Literally could be anything. And again, to anybody at all bummed of, oh, I wish it was just a movie and not a series. They're saying movies too, you guys. That's part of this whole thing. That's part of the plan. I mean, it's the series is going to come first. It sounds like that's the plan. Do the series. How many seasons of a series? We don't know. Will it be a series, then a movie, then a series, then? But they're definitely, mapping out a plan, which I find very exciting. We know how much the scripts changed on the David Gordon films throughout production, and that's not abnormal by any means for any production. But um, I like the idea that they might have an overall arc of what story they want to tell and how they want to tell it, the beats they want to hit over a couple years. I think that's something this franchise has never had. And again, I always say that this is the franchise that makes its own rules and then it breaks its own rules, and I love it for that. And so this is just another part of that whole choose your own adventure mentality that they leaned into and adopted full heartedly with 2018, but they've really been doing ever since, arguably since Halloween 3, definitely since Halloween 4, and definitively with H2O. So anybody thinks that first requel Halloween movie was 2018, yeah, you haven't been paying attention very much. They've been doing this for a while. It's kind of their thing. Um, Travis, good point. The gas station segment of Body Bags showed you could have a story set in that world, and just having Myers hinted to the stories can work. Very good point, my man, Travis. Yes, people forget that opening segment in Body Bags is does take place in Haddonfield. Technically within that world, people forget that, and I think that's a great point that you could have it take place in that world, and you could introduce new characters and new parts of this mythology, but still have Michael be this presence that you allude to, that you talk about, this local legend. And there's a ton of ways to do it, and you could also play with the other ideas that they played with in the novelizations, in the story of old Charlie Bowles in Russellville. The idea, right up to the Corey Cunningham story, the idea that there is evil all over the place, and you know, it's got a lot of potential for a lot of scary stories. Um, but yeah, number one, Carpenter does the music. Number two, everything is always set during fall, during Halloween, culminating with each TV season. It should always culminate on Halloween, if you ask me. If you get those elements, and again, I would be on board if they said there's going to be no Michael at all, just to see if they could pull that off, And I mean, Season of the Witch style, kind of. But I just don't think there's any universe in the world where they're ever going to go that route again and completely try to not use Michael. You know, for all the obvious reasons. This franchise is Michael, and Malik again said that Michael is Americana now. He's bigger than ever. So I don't think there's any way he's not involved. But I totally vote for him not being the centerpiece of the story, not being the focal point. Let him being some overriding arc that is told over time. But I am all for finding a kick-ass young actor to play a youthful Dr. Sam Loomis, and let's really see this guy. You could mix it with like X-Files type stuff of like weird, is it supernatural, isn't it? Because that's another thing. The show should walk that line the same way the original film does. The same way I'd argue these recent films do a good job of walking that line. You know, he's not supernatural. I mean, he does some supernatural, impossible things sometimes too. And that's Carpenter all the way along, right up to his most recent panel in Pasadena 2. Saying it. He's both. He says that. Watch our footage from it. He says it. He said it before. All right, guys. We've been at this almost 2 hours. I'm going to get out of here. You guys are amazing. Again, we got 2 more Mondays this month. Who knows what's going to happen? It's a magical time. It is the most wonderful time of year, and it is an amazing time to be a fan of this franchise and celebrating Michael Myers Monday. Again, I can't believe that we're here to talk about a new project already. That doesn't mean the new project is going to be premiering next year. Maybe it will. I mean, we'll talk about that next week, about the possible likelihood that we could, by this time, by October, mid-October of 2024, could we be watching this show by next year? My gut tells me it's a long shot. It's probably a little more like 2025, maybe, but again, though, I just think there's certain things that have to happen. The show has to take place around Halloween, and the show has to be released around Halloween. If those things don't happen, I mean, what are we really... Is it really a Halloween series if those two things don't happen? So that would mean production would have to kick off pretty soon if all that would happen by this time next year. And given the fact that the actors are still on strike and production can't really kick off, I kind of think it'd be a long shot to say a year from now. 2 years from now, I think is totally doable. And I do think that as we speak, they're putting together, I would hope, some kind of writing team, some kind of writer's room for this. And maybe they're going to work on not just this series, but again, this overarching integrated universe that we're hearing about. Doesn't need the multiverse of madness, although it could. But I don't think that's where we're going. Anyway, as always, give me all your thoughts on this down in the comments if you're watching this on a replay, right here in the live chat right now while it's still going. And all you guys, I appreciate you more than ever for hanging out. It's our time. It's our month. It's literally our time, but it's our time in the world because Michael has never been bigger, and it looks like he ain't going nowhere. Neither is this franchise anytime soon. So that means Michael Myers Monday isn't going anywhere either. HDN's certainly not going anywhere. We're going to be right here every week breaking it down with you guys. So I appreciate you. I love you guys. We love you guys. You're awesome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. And be sure to subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our live streams or all of our other cool stuff we got coming to you just this week. We've got lots more still to come from H45, including the whole Friday bus tour, all of our footage from that. That'll be in a few days. I hope you checked out our adventure at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood. We went for the first time ever. It was amazing. That video's up now. I hope you checked out my exclusive interview with the great Sandy King. We dropped it last week. If you haven't checked that out, she has some funny Michael Myers anecdotes about Michael Myers coming trick-or-treating at Sandy and John's house. A lot of good stuff there. And later on this week, you can look for my next exclusive interview with the very talented, very cool Alex Dragova. If you have not seen the movie Cobweb yet, I know I keep talking about it. Watch it. You're going to love it. Samuel Bowden, the director, he's got a lot in common with Carpenter, his style. Really great director. Alex plays the film's practical creature. She's credited as the girl, but she's something else in that movie. Anyway, watch the movie and then look for my exclusive interview with Alex. She's amazing. You're going to see a lot of great things from her. Check out my last week's interview with Sandy if you haven't already. Lots more cool stuff coming all this week. And again, we've got other unboxings. We just got some cool Nightmare Before Christmas stuff that we're going to be unboxing in a few days as well. So, 'tis the season, right, guys? Lots of wonderful stuff happening here. And you guys are part of that. So, thank you so much for being a part of that. We appreciate you. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You're the best. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Until next week. Or until the next time. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Good night.